Hi, Steve. You all right, mate? Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly. How are you, my friend?
I'm going to put you on speaker. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Yeah, that's a lot better. I can hear you on there. Yeah, so great. So thanks for ringing, mate. Cheers.
Hey, cheers to you. Thank you so much for being on The Blend. I know that you are at the Special Olympics, one of the great charities on the planet.
You know what? It's a really, it's a Special Olympics, and it really is special. I mean, the people taking part and their families and everybody. And I've said on TV today, it's one of those, events and those Olympian events that we need to put on the map, really. Not people know about it. So it was a really lovely thing to do.
How did you get involved? Did they just pick up the telephone and call you, or did you reach out to them?
Well, I did something years ago in, 2 seconds, Steve. Do you want to put it into my phone, mate? Rugeley, let's get Rugeley. Okay. So we're doing sat-naving, which I'm trying to get to my mother and father-in-laws. I did, I do a lot of charity stuff with children, and I also did something for the Special Olympics in Dublin years ago.
Hmm?
And on this particular occasion, they just happened to phone us up, and I said to them, look, if you want me to come and sing a song, I'll quite happily do that. And it was really, really good to be involved. To be honest, very nice.
It's good for the heart to see that. I would like to see more celebrities like yourself, more talent like you get involved with charities like this.
Well, I think a lot of people do. I think that. I think a lot of people do, but it's obviously, people's time and everything else. I mean, there's a lot of quite philanthropic kind of pop stars and actors out there. It's just whether they've got the time. Sorry, 2 seconds, Steve.
What is your mother-in-law's postcode, Tony?
I don't know what my mother-in-law's postcode is.
What's the village called?
It's called...
Okay, let me put...
Sorry, we're trying to get back.
I've got my phone, Steve, and I've got your phone.
Yeah, so you've got me, I've got you here.
There we go, I've got it.
Oh, you've got it. Okay, super.
Okay, there you go. You carry on, you two.
Right, we have a go situation. Yeah, but no, I think a lot of people do, I mean, the late George Michael was a lovely, lovely man.
Right.
Was an incredibly generous man and did a lot of stuff behind the scenes. So you do what you can when you can.
I was going to ask about your relationship with George and his passing. You have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, just very, very sad. I mean, I think it was difficult for him. I don't think he liked the fame that much. I knew him personally and everything, and he was a very, very kind man, very generous man. But I don't think that the fame completely... He wasn't in love with the fame. And also I think he had a lot of problems with hang-ups about his sexuality as well. And I think, coming from a Greek family and everything, I think that was very difficult for him. He just didn't seem to be a happy man.
Now, from the American perspective, it's all about fame. How can you be famous? So how do you deal with fame?
Well, listen, I'm not as famous as George Michael, but, to be honest, I've just always had really good friends and good, solid family around me. And from the day I had my first hit record when I was 20, with to cut a long story short, I've always just said, look, I'm just going to do what I do. I'm going to go down the pub with my mates. My mates are still my friends from school and from my teenage years. And, if I go shopping, I do ordinary things, And I've never let fame get in the way of being an ordinary person. At the end of the day, being a pop star, singer, whatever you want to call us, it's a job. It's a beautiful job, but it's a job. And so don't get sort of disillusioned by the whole fame thing. It's very, really dangerous when that happens.
Now, is being a pop star different in Europe and England that, say, in America? Would we even recognize you walking down, say, Rodeo Drive?
Yeah, some people do. When I go to LA and stuff, hey, man, Spandau Ballet, true. It's like I'm the voice of truth kind of thing. So I do get recognised in the States. Obviously in the UK I get recognised a lot. But everyone's pretty cool. They might just go, yeah, all right, Tone, gold and, whatever. But So everyone's pretty cool. The Italians get quite emotional and quite sort of. You'll go through security at an airport, and they'll just abandon the security devices and just come and have a picture with me. So it's kind of quite funny. But that's in Italy.
That's got to be surreal with the cameras that are around, that you actually get followed. You got videotape going on, or at least video phones going on. That has got to almost be overwhelming.
Well, the thing is, there's nothing secret anymore, is there?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody divulges everything about their personal life on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Everybody's got a camera in their phone. I mean, years ago, people wanted an autograph, but obviously not everybody carried a pen and paper. And not everyone had a camera. But now, everybody has got a mobile phone. Yep. Your grandmother, your granddad, your aunt and uncle, everybody's got a mobile phone. And in the mobile phone is a camera. So the kind of social media side of things has changed beyond recognition, to be honest. I'm not sure it's a good thing because it's very hard to keep a secret.
Yep. Isn't that the truth? You could utter just a few words on social media, and it's around the world in minutes. That could be good and bad.
Well, it can be. I mean, you can be on one side of the world, something happens, and people can read about it in a nanosecond, and you could be in trouble. You know, I think, for instance, like when Spandau were involved in the club scene in the early days in London, the Blitz, the New Romantic thing. It was all kind of underground, and really there's nothing underground anymore. You couldn't do that whole underground club scene today. I think it would be virtually impossible. Now you could just make a YouTube video. Yeah, you just make a YouTube video. You know, unfortunately, I think you have to be very careful with the social media. There are too many people that go home at night, don't spend enough time with their family, and they sit on the bloody computer all night checking out stuff, playing games around the world or just checking out stuff. And that is really causing a lot of problems with families.
I would agree with that. But on the flip side, you've got someone that's sitting in the middle of Italy or whatever will put together a video and then can maybe, like Justin Bieber, who became a star because of YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, this is the crazy thing about it. I mean, you know, you get artists that will go and do an acoustic performance on YouTube, and it becomes, for whatever reason, it's a great song or a great singer, and it becomes a massive worldwide hit, and all of a sudden, wow, the record companies love you and you're signed to a record deal. It's a straight, I suppose it's punk, but it's in a different way.
You could try that yourself. You could come out as somebody else and put out a song and see if that works.
Maybe I should. We put a few clips, we're always putting clips of live performances on, so maybe I should come out and do something as somebody else, yeah.
Right, come out with some other name of some sort.
Yeah, it might be good, actually. It might be good fun to do that, a pseudonym or something.
Yeah, just hide your face. Kind of like what they did with Donny Osmond in 1989 when none of us knew who he was when he released Soldier of Love.
Oh, Soldier of Love was great. I got the album. Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah. That was a great album. And even your voice. Now we think back in the 80s, and the voices that I remember playing all the time was you, George Michael, Robert Palmer, and Simon Le Bon. Now that's some company, my friend.
Yeah, there were some great singers around and stuff, and you know, I mean, bless him, Robert Palmer. He's a lovely man, and George was a great guy. We've lost a lot of people. Bowie, Glenn Fry. We've lost a lot of, you know, Lemmy from Motorhead. I've been drinking with him.
Yeah.
Hardcore. You know, so it's. I think what was great about a lot of the older singers, they had very distinctive voices. You put the record on, and you instantly knew that was Bowie, that was Mark Bolan, that was, you know, Paul Young, Boy George and stuff. Very, very distinctive voices.
And then there's your voice. Everyone knew your voice. Plus, I have to give you kudos. I do not know many singers that are taller than I am. They say you're 6'4". I'm 6'3", and you were the first guy that wore the long coat. That proved to me I could wear a long coat too, and it would fit.
In Live Aid, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a kind of fashion faux pas, really, because it was a double thickness leather coat, and it was about 90 degrees at Wembley when we did Live Aid. So I was absolutely exhausted. I was dripping for England. I was sweating so much,
Now, like Live Aid, one of the initial big charities, what was that like? If you're thinking about it, that's 32 years ago. What do you remember from that event?
Well, I remember that it was, an incredible event. I mean, it was just one of the most amazing events. We all felt that something special was happening. With Band Aid, we made the record. I don't think anybody seriously thought that it would become this global phenomenon. And it was truly a remarkable day because there you are. You got Prince Charles, Princess Di, an amazing array of stars and artists that I watched Top of the Pops, and there was my heroes on Top of the Pops, and here I was at Live Aid meeting all the guys backstage. Incredible, great performance. And then obviously with the Philadelphia side of things, just a technological feat, because in those days the satellite technology was nothing like it is today. So a really amazing event. Changed people's perception of charity and helping the world, without a doubt.
Now, could we do it again? Do you think they could do another Live Aid?
Well, someone asked me that recently, and I said, well, the trouble is that it was unique.
Mm-hmm.
It was a sense of innocence about it and a sense of amazement about it, and we felt we were really doing something to kind of change the world. We've lost that innocence now because virtually anything's possible. So you could do another Live Aid, and it would probably be very, very successful, but it obviously would not have the same impact as the original.
What about putting back together Band Aid, just a group, and maybe re-record the original song?
Well, they've done that a few times as well.
Yeah, it wasn't as good. It just wasn't as good as the original.
No, I don't think so. I just think sometimes I think things are best left.
Right. Okay.
And I would leave Band Aid and Live Aid where it is.
Who do you consider, we talked about some of the other voices out there, your peers? Like, where do you belong in, like, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Does Spandau belong in there? Does Tony Hadley belong in there? What do you think?
Well, I'd like to think that I belong in there and the band belongs in there somewhere. We certainly were different. We created a different sound. I mean, in terms of fashion and music, we were certainly different.
Yeah.
It's difficult. I mean, it's always in the eyes of somebody else. I mean, what I think of me and what I think of the band and what we achieved is one thing, but the powers that be that choose who's going to go into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, that's different. That's a different thing altogether. I'd like to think that we could fit in there, definitely.
I definitely think that you belong in there. Your voice alone, there is no voice like you on the planet.
It's a different voice, and the thing is that whatever song I sing, even if I was in Los Angeles earlier this year. I was doing Let's Dance with the Bowie band with Mike Garson and everybody and Leanne Dorsey and stuff. And I just sound like me. Yep. Even though it's a Bowie song, whatever I sing sounds like Tony Hadley. I can't seem to escape it. But, that's cool. I can live with that.
Hey, one of the greatest covers that I love to play is your cover of Duran Duran, Save a Prayer.
Oh, that's a beautiful song.
That was back when you didn't do that on radio. You didn't play that song, and I heard that the first. I'm still playing it 20 years later. It's that good. All right, so now you're going on tour. You're coming to the States. You're headlining the Lost 80s Live Tour. Let me just say who's on the bill with you. You've got Cutting Crew, Wang Chung, Naked Eyes, Berlin, Missing Persons, The Flirts. Oh, my God, what a concert.
It's going to be good fun, actually. I mean, I know Cutting Crew guys really well. Nick Needs is a good friend of mine. And the Flirts I met in LA. We did the Microsoft Theatre earlier this year. But it's going to be a great. Hopefully we're all going to get on fantastic well, and it'll be rocking on stage. So I'm just looking forward. To be honest, just looking forward to coming to America and playing some gigs over there.
Is there pressure to be the headliner?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I have my band. We're, a fantastic, they're a great bunch of musicians, and we're great friends. We feel really comfortable on stage. As long as we can hear what we can, as long as it sounds good, we can play pretty much anything. And so we're pretty confident.
So is your plan, I'm sure you're going to play some Spandau Ballet, and you're going to play some covers, you're going to play some solo stuff. So I'm looking forward to it. You're going to be in California from Texas. It might be hot, so don't bring that long coat, although I'm sure you still have it.
No, I opt for a very, very Italian suit now. The long coat.
You and Robert Palmer, like the two dressed singers and vocalists ever in rock and roll.
Well, I'm a massive fan of Robert Palmer's, and I knew him quite well. And one night in Germany, he said to me, "Hey, Tom, would you come up and listen to the new album?" I said, "Yeah, okay." And it was one with Addicted to Love on it, and all, the classic album that he had massive success with, and Irresistible. And it was a lot. We sat there until about 3 o'clock in the morning, drinking whiskey, brandy, and whatever it was, listening to his new album. I said, "Wow, Robert, this is fantastic."
So who's left for you to sing with, or who would you like to sing with still?
Massive Daryl Hall fan. Hall and Oates. I love Daryl's house. I think that's a great TV thing. But Daryl, I'm a massive fan of his. Don Henley, Bruce Springsteen. Yeah, that'd be good. Tony Bennett, I've met him very, very good, but because I'm a big Springsteen fan, and so he would be great to sing with. And I did a couple of swing songs off of Jack Jones. Do you know Jack Jones, the singer, the crooner?
Yeah.
He's an American singer, and he's a fantastic vocalist. And so he would be good to work with too.
Now, have you had a chance to meet Daryl Hall?
Yeah, I've met Darryl and Don a couple of times. We've met on European tours. We bumped into each other. Yeah, a couple of guys, a couple of guys, and I just think he's an amazing, incredible singer. He really is.
Yeah, they've been on tour with Tears for Fears. I'm good friends with John Oates. I was going to say, hey, if I need to hook the two of you up, all it takes is a phone call.
Oh, yeah, no, that would be great. So I've been on tour with Tears for Fears. Wow, okay.
Yeah. What an incredible show and combination of the two of them. Tears had to cut it short. They had some family emergency, but what a successful tour. I have not seen Tears in years, and both bands were just incredible.
Well, we toured with Tears for Fears, Spandau Ballet, and Tears for Fears in 2009, 2010 when we did Australia. And Curtin Road, we knew anyway, so we did a double header with Tears for Fears. And again, what a great combination of songs and voices and stuff. It was really cool. Cool couple of guys, but that Paul John Oates, that would be a good one. And Brucey Springsteen, yeah. I was always jealous of Paul Young because I said, "Where you been?" He said, "I've been over to LA." He said, "Yeah, I went riding on our Harley with Bruce Springsteen." I'm like, "Oh God." Riding through the canyons with Bruce Springsteen, yeah.
Life is rough for all of you. It's just too rough.
Too rough.
It is. All right, so you are going to be on tour. You head up the Lost 80s live tour. That's going to start later this month. My friend, you are welcome on this show anytime you'd like. Maybe when you're in States, we'll have you back on the show, okay?
Yeah, I'd love to do it. That'd be really great. It'd be really, really cool.
So we'll set that all up. Thank you so much for being on. I know you're calling in from UK, so we'll get this up and rolling. It has been an absolute pleasure.
Thanks, Stephen. Hopefully see you one.
You certainly will. Godspeed, Tony, and take care of yourself.
Take care. All the best, mate. Take care.
Take care. Cheers now.